We're going to start by labeling our plate. So I'm going to divide the plate into 6 sections. And I'm going to label them A, B, and C for each substance that I'm testing. So now we're going to inoculate the plate. We have a turbid broth culture of our bacteria and a pack of sterile cotton swabs. And we're going to follow aseptic technique, so we're going to use a flame. Start by flaming the top of your tube when you open it. Remove a sterile cotton swab from the package and dip it into the test tube. And then press the cotton swab against the inside of the tube to remove excess broth. And then flame the tube again before recapping. Now take your cotton swab with bacteria and you're going to cover the surface of the plate, and you want to cover the entire surface. So I'm going to move the cotton swab back and forth, covering as much of the agar as possible. Then I'm going to rotate the plate, rotate my swab, and repeat the process. I'm going to do this one final time. And just to be sure I have everything, I'm going to take the swab around the outside edge of the plate. And now it's inoculated. Now we're going to prepare the filter paper discs with each of the chemicals that we're going to test. To do this, we're going to use forceps and we're going to sterilize them using 95% ethanol. Be careful using alcohol around an open flame. To sterilize your forceps, dip them in the ethanol, set the ethanol out of the way, and pass the forceps through the flame so the ethanol catches on fire. Just let it burn off, and these are now sterile. Now I'm going to use my sterile forceps to pick up one of the sterile filter paper discs. I'm going to take chemical A, and I'm going to dip the disc halfway into the chemical and let it soak up onto the paper. Then I'm going to place the disc in the center of one of the triangles that I have labeled A. And just give it a little tap so that it sits on the agar. Now we're going to repeat this process to put a second replicate of chemical A. And repeat the procedure for each of the chemicals to be tested. So this plate needs to go in the incubator for 24 hours at 37 degrees Celsius. After incubation, it will look something like this. So this is what the plate looks like after 24 hours of incubation. The bacteria have grown as this off-white lawn on the plate. Chemical C has some antibacterial properties. There's a zone of inhibition around the disc that is the same as the uncolonized agar. So chemical B has no antibacterial properties. There's no zone of inhibition, and the bacteria have grown right up to the edge of the disc. Chemical A has some slight antibacterial properties. There's a very small zone of inhibition with no bacterial growth around the disc.